عبر تقنية لايف ستريم على صفحات التواصل الاجتماعي فيسبوك، تويتر وقناة اليوتيوب لإذاعة الجزائر الدولية. لمزيد من الأخبار تابعوا radioalgerie.dz/Radio Algérie International.
إذاعة الجزائر الدولية، صوتنا في العالم.
مع إذاعة الجزائر الدولية لن تفوتكم لحظة واحدة من الأخبار السياسية والاقتصادية الهامة. إذاعة الجزائر الدولية، صوتنا في العالم.
With Radio Algeria International, you will not miss a single major political or economic event. Radio Algeria International, our voice in the world.
This is the English service of Radio Algeria International. It's time for the news.
In today's top stories, here in Algiers, Angolan President João Lourenço has held the leading role of President Abdelmadjid Tebboune in combating terrorism and all forms of extremism on the African continent. President Abdelmadjid Tebboune has reiterated Algeria's and Angola's commitment to strengthening peace and stability in Africa and intensifying coordination to face up common threats. The head of the Palestinian National Council has hailed the EU foreign minister's decision to impose new sanctions to several organizations involved in the support and expansion of Jewish settlement activities in the occupied Palestinian territories. Hello and welcome on Radio Algeria International. I'm Jamal Asmani. The President of the Republic of Angola, Mr. João Lourenço, has praised here in Algiers the leading role of the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmadjid Tebboune, in combating terrorism and all forms of extremism on the African continent. In his speech before a special extraordinary session of the Parliament, the Angolan President described President Abdelmadjid Tebboune as a champion of the African Union in the fight against terrorism and all forms of extremism, praising Algeria's efforts to address Africa's challenges while warning of the danger of terrorist organizations and the need for serious efforts to eradicate them.
So we must work hard to put an end to the war between Ukraine and Russia, as well as the ongoing war currently taking place in the Middle East, in Libya, in Somalia, and also in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. We must therefore embrace these political and democratic solutions and move away as much as possible from what are called military solutions. There are also some terrorist groups that are playing a major role in this region, which results in the destabilization of countries as well as the destabilization of the region. We must strive with full seriousness. His Excellency President Abdelmadjid Tebboune has become the African Union's champion in the fight against terrorism as well as in combating all forms of extremism.
He recalled the roles of the late Presidents Ahmed Ben Bella and Houari Boumediene as prominent African figures, stressing that Algeria is a brotherly and steadfast ally, sharing deep-rooted values and historical ties shaped by common suffering under colonialism, including the 8th May 1945 massacres. The Angolan president stressed the need to define shared priorities and strengthen cooperation through agreed mechanisms, including on UN Security Council issues, African representation in financial institutions, and broader global and continental challenges.
We will work to define our priorities as well as our interests, and to establish mechanisms for implementing such a partnership. There is convergence of views so that we can work together to handle this new development. We are also concerned with all issues and matters taken into consideration, including the resolutions of the United Nations Security Council. Accordingly, we see that matters are also linked to the representation of African countries in international financial organizations, as well as to addressing all these scourges affecting the African continent and the wider world.
The Angolan president stressed that Algeria-Angola relations are based on shared history and expertise, recalling Algeria's role in establishing Sonangol and its support through 8,000 scholarships, and reaffirmed commitment to strengthening cooperation based on mutual benefit and solidarity. Earlier, the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, has reiterated Algeria's and Angola's commitment to strengthening peace and stability in Africa and intensifying coordination in the face of common threats within the framework of an African approach based on peaceful solutions and non-interference in the domestic affairs of states. In a joint statement issued following talks held with his Angolan counterpart, the President of the Republic stressed the necessity to strengthening peace and stability in Africa and intensifying coordination to face up to common threats, mainly terrorism and organized crime, within an African approach based on peaceful solutions and non-interference in the domestic affairs of states. In this respect, he reaffirmed support for the right of peoples to self-determination, particularly the Sahrawi and Palestinian peoples, in line with UN resolutions and international law.
أما بالنسبة للتعاون على الصعيدين الإقليمي والدولي فقد أكدنا على أهمية تعزيز السلم والاستقرار في إفريقيا وتكثيف التنسيق لمواجهة التهديدات المشتركة وعلى رأسها الإرهاب والجريمة المنظمة، وفي إطار مقاربة إفريقية تقوم على الحلول السلمية وعدم التدخل، كما عبرنا انطلاقا من تماسكنا باحترام القانون الدولي عن وقوفنا إلى جانب حق الشعوب في تقرير مصيرها، وأقصد الشعبين الصحراوي والفلسطيني، كما نحفظه لهما وتحفظهما لهما قرارات والمواثيق الأممية والشرعية الدولية.
He praised Angola's active role under President João Lourenço in mediation and conflict resolution in Africa, notably in Central Africa and the Great Lakes region, and highlighted the convergence of views on the importance of undertaking a common action to secure Africa's economic integration through initiatives such as the African Free Trade Zone. President Tebboune pointed out that this is translated by the agreements concluded in hydrocarbons, agriculture, pharmaceuticals, renewable energy, health, digitization, and training. He stressed that the two sides agreed to set up mechanisms for expert exchanges in all fields, be it through the Joint Commission or Joint Business Council. The President affirmed to His Excellency President Lourenço Algeria's readiness to support development efforts in Angola, particularly in the field of executives training, and to allow for new cooperation prospects. He also expressed his deep satisfaction with the important agreement reached, which strengthened the legal framework and opened new prospects for cooperation. He further noted that the implementation of a direct air route between Algeria and Luanda early June would be one of the key steps to support initiatives and secure a rapprochement between the two peoples.
أكدت لفخامة الرئيس لورانسو استعداد الجزائر لدعم جهود التنمية في أنغولا، لا سيما في مجال تكوين الإطارات بما يخدم أولوياتنا. وأود في هذه السانحة أن أعرب عن ارتياحي العميق بما توصلنا إليه من اتفاقيات هامة تعزز الإطار القانوني وتفتح آفاقا جديدة للتعاون، وسيكون تجسيد مشروع خط جوي مباشر بين الجزائر ولواندا أحد أهم الخطوات لدعم المبادرات والتقارب بين الشعبين، وافتتاح هذا الخط الجزائر لواندا سيكون ابتداء من جويلية لهذه السنة إن شاء الله.
The President stated that this visit had provided the opportunity to examine the state of bilateral cooperation and its development prospects, noting that fruitful talks had been held during which the political will to lay the foundations for a comprehensive and fruitful strategic partnership had been reaffirmed.
هذه الزيارة أتاحت لنا الفرصة لاستعراض واقع التعاون الثنائي وآفاق تطويره، حيث أجرينا محادثات ثرية أكدنا من خلالها إرادتنا السياسية لإرساء أسس شراكة استراتيجية شاملة ومثمرة. وفي هذا الإطار اتفقنا على تعزيز التعاون في قطاعات المحروقات والزراعة والصناعة والصيدلانية والطاقات المتجددة والصحة والرقمنة والتكوين وتطوير آليات تبادل الخبراء في كل هذه المجالات.
Angola's president, Mr. João Lourenço, for his part, stated that Algeria and his country can contribute significantly to the development of the African continent, particularly in the sectors of energy, industry, and infrastructure. He stressed that his state visit to Algeria aims at strengthening friendship and cooperation, highlighting a shared history of struggle against colonialism and its aftermath, and noting the signing of 11 cooperation agreements to guide future relations.
Today, we are paying a state visit to Algeria with the aim of strengthening the bonds of friendship and cooperation that unite our peoples and our countries. We also share a common history of struggles and victories. Struggles not only against colonialism, but also against its aftermath in our countries. We held important talks in addition to the work carried out by our two delegations on the various aspects of cooperation of common interest between our two countries. We have signed 11 legal cooperation agreements that will guide our path in the future.
President Lourenço stressed the importance of fully exploring Angola-Algeria cooperation to support national and African development, especially in energy, infrastructure, and industry.
We are interested in exploring all the opportunities offered by our two countries without any exception, because we believe that Angola and Algeria have the capacity to contribute significantly not only to the development of their own countries, but also to the development of our African continent in general, not only in the energy sector, but also in the development of our continent's infrastructure, as well as in the process of industrialization and development.
President Lourenço thanked Algeria for its historic support and training of Angolan energy professionals, noting that cooperation remains insufficient and calling for its strengthening, including an early meeting of the Joint Commission.
We thank Algeria for the contribution it has provided to our country since the early days of our independence. We still remember that the first engineers and executives in general in the energy sector were trained here in Algeria, and some of them are still, to this day, among the executives of our national company, Sonangol, including at the company's management level itself. Therefore, through the analysis we have carried out, we see that the level of cooperation still falls far short of what it should be. For this reason, we have committed ourselves to working towards developing cooperation, hence the need to hold the 5th session of the Joint Bilateral Commission between the two countries as soon as possible.
Talks between the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, and his Angolan counterpart, Lourenço, were expanded to include members of the two delegations. President Tebboune has co-chaired with the visiting Angolan President the signing ceremony of several agreements and memoranda of understanding covering various fields of cooperation between the two countries. The agreements include a cooperation agreement in the field of oil and gas and a memorandum of understanding between the Algerian Agency for Investment Promotion and the Angolan Agency for Private Investment and Export Promotion. The two countries also signed agreements in vocational training, water resources, postal services, telecommunications and ICT, along with a memorandum of understanding between the Diplomatic Institute and International Relations and the Angolan Diplomatic Academy, and a protocol of agreement between the Ministry of Agriculture and the Angolan Ministry of Health, further strengthening bilateral cooperation. They also signed a cooperation agreement in higher education, scientific research, science, technology, and innovation, a memorandum of understanding between the Ministry of Pharmaceutical Industry and the Angolan Ministry of Health, as well as agreements in air transport services and the mining sector. Now, the head of the Council of the Nation and representative of President Abdelmajid Tebboune, Azouz Nasri, today attended in Kampala the swearing-in ceremony of Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni following his re-election last January. The Speaker of the Council of the Nation conveyed the President of the Republic's greetings of the Ugandan President, wishing him all success in fulfilling his duties. The Secretary-General of the Ministry of Hydrocarbons, Milud Mejled, received a high-level delegation from Germany, with whom he discussed ways and means of strengthening bilateral cooperation and developing mutually beneficial partnerships in the fields of energy and hydrocarbons. The details in this report with Mr. Odsharfi.
Led by the Director General for Geoeconomics at the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Oliver Rentschler, the German delegation includes senior officials from the Ministries of Foreign Affairs and Energy and executives and representatives of major German energy and industrial companies. The meeting provided an opportunity to review the state and prospects for Algerian-German cooperation, described as strong and special, particularly within the framework of the strategic partnership between the two countries in the energy sector. Both sides hailed the progress achieved in implementing several joint cooperation projects, particularly in the areas of natural gas marketing and low-carbon technologies in the gas industry, with a view to reducing emissions as well as in the development of the green hydrogen transport project through joint working groups, bringing together experts from both countries. At the end of the meeting, both parties reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening bilateral cooperation and developing mutually beneficial partnerships based on the transfer of knowledge and expertise, mastery of production technologies, strengthening national integration, and developing sustainable solutions to reduce methane emissions and support the energy transition.
The National People's Assembly is taking part in Rome, Italy, in the meeting of the Mediterranean and Middle East Task Force of the Parliamentary Assembly of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. The topics discussed on the first day of the meeting focused on the current challenges posed by the deteriorating security situation in the Middle East and the Gulf. In this regard, the participants emphasized the need to combine efforts to swiftly reach a lasting solution capable of restoring security and stability in the region. The 8th edition of the Fair of Algerian Products and Services in Nouakchott, Mauritania, has ended with the signing of 70 agreements in the fields of trade, transport and exports, thus contributing to the promotion of Algerian exports and the strengthening of the Algerian-Mauritanian economic partnership. Mr. Shafi has the details.
The last day of the economic event was marked by the signing of 18 agreements in the fields of trade, transport and exports, including an agreement with Air Algérie Cargo, subsidiaries of the Algerian Maritime Transport Group, and an Algerian Maritime Freight Transport Company, covering the export and delivery of 500,000 tons of cement to Mauritania, with a total value estimated at $50 million. The agreement demonstrates the development of Algeria's export capacity and the strengthening of the presence of domestic products on the Mauritanian market. In the health sector, agreements relating to medical tourism have also been signed to strengthen cooperation between Algerian healthcare facilities and Mauritanian operators, with the aim of developing healthcare services and admitting Mauritanian citizens to Algerian hospitals. The agreements also covered the fields of innovation and services through partnerships involving Algerian startups operating in the agricultural sector, aimed at developing technological solutions and smart services and strengthening technical cooperation and the exchange of expertise between the two countries. In the field of tourism, an agreement was signed to strengthen tourism promotion and develop partnerships between operators in the sector, thereby opening up new prospects for cooperation and investment between Algeria and Mauritania.
Now to the Middle East. The head of the Palestinian National Council has hailed the EU foreign minister's decision to impose new sanctions to several organizations involved in the support and expansion of Jewish settlement activities in the occupied Palestinian territories. He was quoted by the news agency Wafa as saying that such measure, however, constituted a late recognition of the seriousness of the colonial plan as well as the crimes and organized terrorists carried out by the Jewish settlers against the Palestinian people in the West Bank. The Palestinian officials stressed that the attacks perpetrated by the Jewish settlers were not individual acts, but rather represent an organized terrorism waged in full partnership with the Israeli occupying authorities. These, he went on to say, provide weapons, political and military support, as well as a legal framework marked by an escalation in killings, criminal arsons, forced displacement, and confiscation of Palestinian land. Earlier, Italy's Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani hailed the agreement reached by the EU diplomacy's chiefs to adopt measures including a custom blockade on products. Now, the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has said in Kenya that the UN must be reformed to increase Africa's representation within it. Speaking at a press conference during his visit to Kenya, Mr. Guterres said that far-reaching reforms of global institutions were needed.
Africa must have the voice, the representation and the resources its people deserve. The continent has enormous potential, but that potential is being constrained by an unfair international system. Too many African countries face egregious borrowing costs. Too many climate-vulnerable countries are still waiting for the support they were promised. And too often, African countries are expected to live with decisions made in institutions in which they have no equal voice. That must change. We need deeper reforms of the international financial architecture, greater investment on terms that allow countries to build, grow and transform, and global institutions that reflect the world as it is today, not as it was 80 years ago.
Mr. Guterres, who called for urgent reforms to global financial systems, also called for greater climate justice for Africa, warning that the continent remains disproportionately affected by climate change despite contributing little to global emissions.
So this is not only a financial crisis, this is a crisis of solidarity. Take climate change. Africa did not cause it, yet the continent is warming faster than the global average, bearing the harshest consequences in displaced communities, lost harvests and economic shocks. Today's global energy turmoil, volatile fossil fuel markets, fragmented trade is deepening fiscal stress, inflation and stunted development across the continent. Africa must be at the center of climate justice. The continent holds 60% of the world's best solar potential and receives 2% of global clean energy investments. With the right finance, Africa could generate 10 times more electricity that it needs by 2040 entirely from renewables.
For his part, African Union Commission Chairperson Mahmoud Ali Yusuf also called for fairer international partnerships and stronger multilateral cooperation aligned with Africa's development priorities. The United Nations World Food Programme in Afghanistan has warned that more than 13 million Afghans are facing severe food insecurity due to persistent economic hardship, unemployment and climate-related issues that continue to affect livelihoods across the country. The WFP expressed concern over the sharp decline in supplies of specialized therapeutic foods used to treat malnutrition in women and children, highlighting that growing economic and humanitarian pressures are weighing on relief operations. This is Radio Algeria International. You're listening to the English service. Stay tuned.
Hello, dear listeners, and welcome to today's edition of your weekly program, The Health Magazine. For the next few minutes, we'll be talking about something simple, affordable, powerful, and very beneficial to our health: fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are colorful, fresh, and natural, yet many people still do not eat enough of them. Today, we will explore why fruits and vegetables are important, how they benefit our bodies, and simple ways to include them in our daily meals. So whether you're at home, at work, or on the road, stay with us and let's discover together how fruits and vegetables can help us live healthier and consequently longer. Fruits and vegetables are natural foods that come from plants. Fruits usually contain seeds and are often sweet, such as oranges, bananas, mangoes, apples, and others. However, vegetables include leaves, roots, and stems, such as spinach, cabbage, carrots, tomatoes, onions, and others. These foods are rich in vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants, which our bodies need to function properly. Unlike processed foods, fruits and vegetables are low in fat, salt, and sugar, making them ideal for maintaining good health. One major advantage of eating fruits and vegetables is that they strengthen our immune system. Fruits like oranges, lemons, mangoes, and pineapples are rich in vitamin C, which helps the body fight infections such as colds, flu, and other illnesses. Vegetables like spinach, broccoli, and carrots contain vitamins A and E, which help protect the body from disease. When you eat enough fruits and vegetables regularly, your body becomes stronger and better able to fight sickness. Another important benefit is heart health. Many fruits and vegetables help reduce bad cholesterol and control blood pressure. For example, bananas help regulate blood pressure because of potassium. Leafy vegetables help keep blood vessels healthy. Tomatoes contain antioxidants that protect the heart. Eating fruits and vegetables regularly can reduce the risk of heart diseases, stroke, and high blood pressure. A healthy heart means a longer and more active life. Fruits and vegetables are rich in dietary fiber. Fiber helps food move smoothly through the digestive system, preventing constipation and stomach problems. It also helps you feel full for longer, reducing overeating. For people trying to maintain or lose weight, fruits and vegetables are excellent choices because they are low in calories but high in nutrients. Instead of snacks high in sugar or fat, choosing fruits can help control weight in a healthy way. What we eat affects not only our bodies but also our brains. Fruits and vegetables contain nutrients that support brain function, memory, and concentration. Antioxidants found in berries, leafy greens, and colorful vegetables help protect brain cells from damage. Studies have shown that people who eat more fruits and vegetables often experience better concentration, improved mood, and reduced risk of depression and memory loss. Healthy food supports a healthy mind. Fruits and vegetables also help improve physical appearance and body function. Carrots and leafy greens help improve eyesight. Fruits rich in vitamin C help maintain healthy skin, and crunchy fruits like apples help clean teeth naturally. Regular consumption can slow signs of aging and keep the skin glowing and strong. Even if important for every human being, fruits and vegetables are particularly important for children because they help them grow strong, stay healthy, and learn better. Eating fruits and vegetables every day gives kids the energy and nutrients their bodies need. Children often get sick easily, especially at school. Fruits and vegetables help protect children from sickness. Oranges, mangoes, and kiwi fruit provide vitamin C. Spinach and carrots help fight infections. Children who eat fruits and vegetables regularly get sick less often. Children love to play, run, and jump. Fruits and vegetables give natural energy without harmful sugar. Bananas, apples, and sweet potatoes help kids stay active without feeling tired too quickly. Fruits and vegetables are low in fat and unhealthy sugar. They help children avoid becoming overweight. When kids eat fruits instead of sweets and junk food, they stay fit and healthy. Fruits and vegetables contain fiber, which helps children digest food properly, avoid constipation, and feel comfortable after meals. A healthy stomach helps children feel good every day. When children learn to eat fruits and vegetables early, they develop good eating habits that last a lifetime. Healthy kids grow into healthy adults. Now you may be wondering, how can I eat more fruits and vegetables every day? Here are some simple tips. Add vegetables to every main meal. Eat fruits as snacks instead of sugary foods. Mix fruits into breakfast meals. Add vegetables to soups, stews, and sauces. And choose seasonal fruits. They are cheaper and fresher. You don't need expensive food. Local fruits and vegetables are just as healthy. Wash fruits and vegetables properly before eating them to remove dirt and chemicals. Try to eat a variety of colors: green, red, yellow, and orange, because each color provides different nutrients. Remember, health is built daily by the choices we make. As we come to the end of today's program, remember the simple message: fruits and